Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good Monday. Let me mute these really quick. Hold on one second. All right. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Good morning, John O, John Ennis, KC Mack, Two Way. What's up, brother? Joe Chase, Frank, Ola, Huguetes, D. Evan, Netron, FaZe, Missouri. What's up, guys? Good morning. All right, so RSLS is really running this morning. I can't trade it on Tefs, unfortunately, but it is moving some. Um, Also watching ABIL. It's not tradable either, but it's moving some as well. Watching AMD here. This one is tradable. It's gapping up some. I'll probably keep an eye on this one. VOD gapping up some here from to 2040. GUSH gapping up some a little bit here. I can trade all three of those. CRON gapping up. I can trade this one as well. CGC I can trade. NIO. NBEV moving some. I can't trade this one. EDGE I can't trade this one either. JKS gapping up from 922 to 1030. It looks okay. I'll have to check that one to see. Just looking at a few other things on my scanner. Riot showing up. Riot was a former runner. SLS was too. Just trying to wake up a little bit here, guys. Good morning. What's up, Matthew, Israel, Nick, John, Anthony? What's up, man? ANY? How's ANY doing? I know that one was moving last week. I'm kind of bummed out. Like, yeah, I'll definitely watch ANY as well. Let's see if I can trade it. I doubt I can. I can trade ANY. Okay, so I'll watch ANY as well. I mean, this one's tough, you know. I'm looking at the daily chart mostly with this one. Big move. You know, I think it'll probably come back down. Honestly, it's just about when it's going to come back down. At least in my opinion, I think it'll probably come back down to the 2s or 3s. Eventually, it's just about when it actually starts to make that move. Honestly, if there's put options for sale on Robinhood, I may buy one here and just see if it comes back down to the 2 or 3s within the next few days. I don't mind it, you know. I just think it'll come back down. You know, it moved up from $1.90 something all the way to $7.18. It's back down to 5.40s. So I think it'll probably come back down slowly. But I'm gonna watch it regardless. Yeah, Mikey, he should be, man. Mitch Guys trader, you know? Yeah, man, he should be here. I'll give him a call in a second, but he'll probably end up Skyping me soon. Oh, I need to make a Zoom. That's what I need to do. Let's see. Alright, did somebody hit me with another view bot? I'm gonna have to report this to YouTube again, man. I hate doing this. It depends, though. We'll see if it stays sturdy here. It looks like they did, though. What's up, Connor? Matthew? Yeah, somebody's hitting me with a view bot again, guys. I don't know why, but they are. So just give me a second, guys. I'm going to have to fill this out again. I'm gonna have to look up where the views came from on Friday. I think they used it. Um, it just makes me wonder, like, what's the point? You know, like I get it, you're insecure about my channel, and you want my channel to get shut down or whatever you want. But you know, YouTube knows that I've been reporting this problem to them, and so they know it's not me, and so they're not going to shut my channel down for somebody else doing it. So like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, why do it? Like, you know, you're just wasting your time on it. But hey, like whatever, man. People get insecure, I guess. Look at RSLS starting to pull back here. It's at 250s now. We'll see where that one goes. All right. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what's the point of like wasting time doing it. Like, especially if they're spending money on like these fake views. Like it doesn't really affect my stream that much. Like they'll be gone in like what, like 10 minutes, so like the views will be back to normal in like 10 minutes, but like what's the point? I reach out to YouTube every time I notice it. Like YouTube knows it's not me. They know it's somebody else, so like what's the point? You know? Like I get it. People may be insecure about what I'm doing here. Especially some gurus or whatever, but like what's the point, man? Unnecessary. Like it's gonna do exactly the same thing it did Friday, which watch, you'll see my views go up to like 700 and something typically is where like the ceiling is. It goes up to like 700 and then within like 10 minutes they'll all be gone and it'll be back to like my normal view count, which is typically like I usually get anywhere from like 200 to like 250 people in here every morning. I'm just gonna ignore it, but it's aggravating. All right, looking at what's popping up on my scanners here. We got LPSN, RUSS popping up, but the volume's pretty low with both of these. AEG, same thing. And so, we're gonna keep an eye on some of these, but need some more volume for sure. Yeah, for sure, Eric. I mean, they're fake. It's somebody using the view bot on me again. I already reported it to YouTube from this morning, and so all I can do is just wait for them to go back down. Like I said, it'll probably hit 800 and something, like it did last time, and then it'll just go back to the regular view count. Man, yeah, it's the same guy. Hey Nick, man, I don't want you to make me popular, bro. Like I don't want you to send me view bots. Like I don't want fake views, man. I'd like it if you just left it alone, brother. Like I don't like fake views. They're clearly fake, man, and it doesn't do anything. So like please stop using them. I'd appreciate it if you would stop using them. Nick Dimitriev. Did he delete his comment? Yeah, I don't know, Mikey. I don't know why it's doing that, man. Yeah. Hey, Eric, I'm going to send you a message on Discord, man. All right, so watching AMD here. In class yesterday, I went over the results from my back testing for November, and AMD is one of the ones that performed the best with VWAP bounces and fades, believe it or not. And I used to think this stock was terrible for it, but this month it's been doing pretty well. You can see fades here. It bounced really nicely on Friday. Appreciate the sub, Scott. Thanks, man. We have Fit popping up on my scanner here. Not that much volume, though. We'll see if we get some more volume today. DE, too expensive, I think. DNR. Yeah, so I'm really just watching AMD here. RSLS is probably the stock with the most volume right now. It's actually pulling back to the VWAP some in pre-market. We'll see what happens. Yeah, RSLS doesn't look that bad. There's a few other ones I'm watching though. Let me see where Mitch is at. Mitch should be here today. Overstock OSTK doesn't look bad. It had a big move on Friday, and it may be a little extended on the upside, is what I'm looking at, seeing if it's going to come back down some. I'll have to look up that news in a second. Let me see where Mitch is at. Oh, I got to create a Zoom for Mitch. Hold on. Sorry, guys, trying to get Mitch in here. We'll go over news in a second. Not that bad of a morning. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to use a little bit larger sizing than I typically do. And it's just a process. And so I may take some bigger losses than I'm used to using bigger sizing, but it is a process. And so we'll see how that goes. Just got to, even if I lose on the first few trades, I just need to stick with it because I think people know what every time I try to go up in sizing, this is typically what happens. I show consistent profits with small sizing, and then I decide to up my sizing to bigger sizing. I take a bigger loss than I usually do because of the bigger sizing, and I kind of run back scared to small sizing. And so I kind of just need to stick with it, even if I take bigger than usual losses the first few days, just to get that, you know, just to get that comfort in using bigger sizing, just to get used to it. You know, I think that's what I really need to do. We'll see how it goes. ET popping up on my scanner. And so, yeah, main watches RSLS, Overstock, OSTK, AMD, CRON. Yeah, for sure, Joe Chase. That's what I need to do, man. I need to, like, what I'll probably do is I'll probably go with maybe 300 shares, try to get used to that, and then do it that way. I think it's time, man. Like I said, if you look at my graph is profitable in the last month. It's just the reason it doesn't reflect on my account is because my sizing's so small that like days where I make like a $12 gain, a majority of it is commissions, and then days when I lose more than that from commissions, and so the only way to get around that is to scale up a little bit. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see where Mitch is at. Let's see if he. Let me call him. No, I didn't get an answer from Mitch, man. Let me text him. Let's see. All right. We'll see if Mitch gets here. Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of like it is all in your head for sure, Joe. And that's something I've always said. You know, people always say, um, people. I think new traders are too impatient, and they just kind of jump in using bigger than necessary sizing when they first get started. And so the only thing that really matters is to take it slow, show consistent gains first, and then scale up. If you try to scale up too soon, you're not going to spend that time in the market that you need because your account's going to be gone as a new trader. And so you kind of just need to take it slow, use small sizing, show consistent gains, and then move up. I think that's a much more reasonable way to approach it. And that's ultimately what I am trying to do at this point. I've been showing consistent gains for months now, you know, and it's just about actually scaling up in that size to better reflect that in my account balance. I think 100%. That's the only difference is the emotion, Matthew, but 100%. I mean, I'm using real money. It's just small sizing doesn't evoke that really strong emotion as well. And I think it's something that I'm just used to is taking, you know, $20 losses, $20, $30 gains, $40 gains, $20 losses. And so I just need to get used to taking, you know, $50 to $80 losses and, you know, $100 to $120 gains. I think that'll even itself out a little bit. 100%, Joe. The range of the stock plays a huge factor as well. I'm going to go run to the restroom really quick, guys. I will be back in probably like 2 minutes. We'll see if we can get Mitch in here. All right, before I run to the restroom, we do have Mitch in here, so. Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
All right. Hey, I'll be back, Mitch. I'll be right back, man. Hold it down.
All right, all right. Hey, how we doing, everybody? Money Mondays. Excited to get started today, guys. Got a new monitor. The only thing is, for some reason, the adapter that I bought for it, I bought a USB-C adapter 3.1 to HDMI because my graphics card just doesn't have enough ports anymore. I have the ultimate setup now, guys. I think it's definitely, for the price, probably the best setup that I could build. It's taking me four Acer computers, four Acer monitor. I have two 24s and two 27s, and what can I say, man? I'm loving this. Hey, you already know. Leader of the guys. Let's get it. You know, I'm all about that excitement. You know, got to start the morning right. You know, I like to start it off usually with a good morning, trader. Da-da, da-da. Taking off here, guys. All right, let's see what we got here in the market today. Of course, I'm going to be watching the big movers like Yoko. Let me see what we got tradable for us today. Anybody sees a beautiful stock out there? What's a nice extended stock? Go ahead and call it on out. All right, all right. What we got here? RSLS gapping up 104%. 104%. That's a big gapper. Too bad we can't trade it. I am seeing some more shipping stocks and crypto stocks showing up here. Let me see what we got for China stocks. All right, we got NFEC. NFEC has been up for the last 5 days, about 48%. You see it on the daily. It looks like it's going to try to break out past that $10 mark. Definitely a stock to watch. I don't think I could trade it, but definitely a good stock to watch. We also got on there, let me see, we got ZIOP, CRMD. We got CRMD. It's not too bad, up
Yeah.
about 50%.
I don't mind CRMD. I don't think it's tradable, probably.
Yeah, not tradable. Trying to find the gold. Where's the gold at, guys?
I mean, we got OSTK overextended, AMD gapping up. We have CRON gapping up some, CGC gapping some. One of your old-time favorites, SGMO,
Uh-oh.
HMI, CVS.
CVS.
Mikey, man. The puns. What's up, Keith? Everybody's talking about Guy.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. News here. Let's go over some news. All right. First one I'm looking up. RSLS.
What's going on in this sector? Okay.
All right. First one I'm looking at is WEBULL. Oh, sorry. Looking at OSTK. OSTK had a big move on Friday. It could have just been Black Friday moves, though. So the CEO of Overstock put a deadline on his long-running efforts to sell off the company's e-commerce operations and focus solely on blockchain technology. Wait, so Overstock.com is not gonna resell stuff anymore? I don't understand. OSTK isn't gonna sell stuff online anymore. They're just gonna focus on blockchain. Does that make sense to anybody? Isn't Overstock.com like a retail store online?
Yeah, you know how it happens.
Right. I mean, it says Patrick Byrne put a deadline on his long-running efforts to sell off the company's e-commerce operations. Yeah, he expects to sell Overstock's retail operations by February of 2019. We think we've got cold fusion on the blockchain side, quote unquote, he said. Okay, so this is honestly, I may buy a long-term put option on this. You know, if they're getting out of like that's what their name implies is Overstock.com. I mean, I've never shopped there before, but that's what their name implies. The fact that they are giving up their bread and butter to focus on blockchain just seems like a move to try to pump the stock up a little bit. Who knows? I really don't know. This is all just speculation. I don't really know much about the company, but it seems like I mean, the stock's up after they put that press release out. I don't understand that move, but they probably know something I don't. Also looking at RSLS. I mean, if you remember late last year, like a year ago, anytime a company would say blockchain, the stock would just go crazy and then it would fail back down, you know? Especially nowadays with Bitcoin under 4 grand, you know. Um, last year everybody was saying blockchain in their press releases last year because it would just cause the stock to just go crazy.
Oh, Marley, Marley.
Nick Dmitriev, listen, man, I just don't want fake views, brother. Like, I don't want fake views, man. You can contact me at beginnertrading@gmail.com, but I don't want fake views, man. And I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't send me fake views. You know?
All right, all right. I'm kind of really interested in these kind of Home Depot and Lowe's stocks. They're going to some really good support in dailies. The dailies look really bad. Lowe's had a really bad report out. Kind of what's going on in that sector.
Hey, hold on. My wife's locked out of the house. Hold on. I gotta go let her in.
All right, guys, I'm talking about Home Depot and Lowe's here. Home Depot and Lowe's. Lowe's had some pretty bad earnings, and Home Depot also got a downgrade. So essentially, the whole sector is going down. Lowe's had bad earnings and a lower guidance. So, of course, Lowe's is going to go down. But then when Home Depot got hit with a downgrade by Morgan Stanley, it also got hit. And you can see really, really strong daily charts supports here for Home Depot and Lowe's. I'm kind of going to be watching these stocks. They're bigger stocks, and I don't really watch these that often. But when they come to that big of support or resistance, kind of move down towards that is kind of in the works. It's interesting and definitely a play that I'll keep an eye on today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not stocks I trade often, but something that could, show up pretty big today. I can't wait to get my other monitor working.
You still haven't got that thing up, man?
I got it set up, but the thing is, I got like a USB kind of adapter. I got a USB to HDMI because I only have 3 ports on my graphics card. So it should be able to work from there, but the driver for some reason isn't working. So I might have to adjust there and get a new one or send it back to Amazon.
Yeah, for sure.
It just sucks. I have it up right next to me and it looks beautiful. I'm like, I want to use you.
All right, so RSLS is up after positive diabetes treatment data. It's a medical device maker. It says new data from its proprietary technology is being developed to treat type 2 diabetes. It showed blood glucose levels of diabetic animals in the trial significantly decrease. And so interesting here. We'll see what RSLS does, but positive data for that one. Yep, just went over that. IDXG, low flow, good news. Let's see it.
Got about 1 minute to the bell.
Yep.
I'm kind of wondering, what would this be considered? This is
look at VICI, man. VICI, getting some volume here, starting to run. VICI.
VICI.
Yep. And it's tradable, so I'm gonna watch VICI as well.
All right.
All right, we got 30 seconds though, guys. 30 seconds.
Any news out on it?
Most likely. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
Yeah.
No, not that I see. Public offering of common stock, but that was on the 19th. Not sure what's going on with that one. All right, but we got 10 seconds, guys. So good luck, all. Good luck. GoPro popping up on the scanners too. All right, there's the bell. All right, RSLS is completely filling this gap so far. At least it just dropped 50 cents, and so 20% just now. Big drop. VICI completely filled the gap already. Crazy. AMD pushing up. I wish JKS was tradable actually, but it's not.
VICI actually looks a little strong for me.
Maybe it was a glitch, man. On my end, it just filled the entire gap down to 2160.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, look, I could pull it up on my screen. Like, look at it on my screen, man.
Oof.
Maybe it's just my screen.
Yeah, I could have got short there at 22.20s. It's going to be a tight spot, though.
Yeah, let me pull up the intraday scans.
All right, let's see what AMD does here. SPEX, guys, coming on the high day momentum scanner, picking up some good volume in that stock.
AMD completely pulling back here. What else was I watching, man? Cron moving. Let's see, NAO. JKS pushing up. Yeah, SPEX popping up on the scanner.
Yep.
U.
Z also. Z is a good stock right there. That looks. Z is tradable.
Cron making a spike here. CRC popping up on the fade scanner. It is tradable too.
Oh, I'm looking at this one. I like this one. HMI. It's a low volume. Let me see if the spread is good. It's interesting.
VICI giving it back, man. Filling that gap.
Z's looking good right now. I almost bought it there at 32. Slight hesitation. Would have been a great buy there. Would have been already able to sell a little bit there.
Yeah, look
It
at the
has to
Z.
be a lot lower in share size. I got to go in there with the right share size in this.
AMD tanking some.
Look at VKTX.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Hold on.
That was decent. What you looking at?
I was watching AMD. If it pulls back to the VWAP, I'm not necessarily opposed to taking it.
Man, I missed that one on VKTX. See if we get a little bounce here. Oh,
All right, if RSLS gets up to 1990s, I'll probably take one with a 2010 risk. But it's got to get up to that 1995 level at least.
what the hell? For some reason, my limit order is going in as a market order.
Weird.
Yeah, like immediately filled me. So I'm in on VKTX here.
I'm looking at NIO. NIO is tanking here. See if we get a pop back up to that 755 level for NIO with the tight risk. I don't mind that. All right, so at this point I'm watching NIO AMD. See if we get some pullbacks on those. We're getting some drops on RSLS as well.
AMD, man. Nice reversal right there.
Yeah, man, if it pulls back to that 1995 level, I'll probably take it. 2010 risk, 15 cents.
I don't know what's going on with my limit orders.
All right, NIO watching at 756. VKTX kind of pulling back to the VWAP, but not my favorite one. Thank you. It looks like the fake views are finally stopping. Hopefully. Alright, watching AMD here. It's up to 1980. If it gets up to 95, I'll take it. Really, a 1990 is okay. Risk of 2010. Maybe 20 even. I could do a risk. I'm going to jump in with the first shares of 100 right here. Try to get in a little early. See if we can get that pullback. I don't mind adding to it if it gets back up to 1990. Let's see what we get here for AMD. Not a bad little fade move already. We'll see if it pulls back some more. Wanted to scale into it a little bit more, but I don't know if we really got that. Goal of 1960 maybe. See if we get that move. Not bad so far. 74s. 72s. Not too shabby here. We'll see if it keeps going. Get a pull back down for AMD is what I'm looking for. At this point, I'm comfortable enough in it to not be super worried about it, even with this push back up. We'll see what happens, but looking for a fail here. Putting in some lower lows. drop back down to 76. See if we get a follow through down to at least 1970. I don't necessarily dislike taking profits there, but it has to get down there. It's down to 73s, 70s, 69s. All right, I'm going to take half off there and just let the rest work. See if I can get the rest down at 1960 or so. I was going to try to use bigger sizing. It just never really got up to that 1990 level that I was really looking for. I like this follow through though. I like this drop. And so going to let it test 1960s here. See if we can get that break. And if not, I can get out for roughly break even here. It's down to the 1962 level. Not looking bad. There we go. There's the beautiful follow through. Just going to let this work. See if we can get down to 1950 will be my final profit target here. If we can break under that. I'm going to go ahead and get out there. $18 gain. Beautiful fade, man. And this is something that I talked about yesterday, is that when I back tested AMD, it showed the propensity to fade. I think I probably got out a little bit too early there. What's up, Casey? Hey, brother, Casey. Remember what I talked about yesterday in class, man? Remember what I talked about? AMD, dude. This is the benefit of back testing, guys. You know, when I back tested AMD, when I back tested VWAP bounces and fades, it gave me a few different things, right? When I back tested it, it gave me 3 key things. Okay, number 1, it gave me favorable conditions for the fade. And the favorable conditions, one of them was a big drop at the open, around the open, within the first 10 minutes, a big drop. The other one was decent volume, which AMD showed. And the final one was what stocks were favorable with the fade. What stocks performed well with the VWAP fade and the VWAP bounce. And one of the best ones is AMD. And you know, it's funny because Mitch and I were talking about it yesterday. Mitch and I talked about it yesterday that we always hated AMD. We always looked at AMD like it wasn't a good option for fades and bounces. We always looked at it. No, I got out too early for sure. I got out about 15 cents too early. It's just at this point I wanted to get 200 shares, but it bounced up and it never quite got. I think I said my entry originally was 1990s. And it never got there. It got to 87. And so I'm not necessarily opposed to scalping it really quick and taking profits on this nice little fade. But like I said, one of the benefits to back testing is that it shows you these things. It shows you what stocks are favorable with the bounce and fade. And one of the best performing ones was actually AMD. And it kind of opened up my eyes to it because before I was never really looking at AMD for fades or bounces. I always thought that it wasn't a good candidate. Maybe I traded it once and I had a losing trade. And so, you know, I went over it in class yesterday in back testing class, but, you know, one of the big things that you realize is that your beliefs in certain stocks will kind of go out the window and you can kind of just look at the data, just only the data. And you can realize that some stocks are really good for it. And AMD has been one of those stocks. You know, beautiful fade. I still think I got out too early. I mean, I wrote it down about 30 cents or so. And so I'll take it. But I think I got out a little early. A and Y is fading. I faded once. The second fade didn't really follow through though. But this first fade was pretty, Abby. Any recommended backtesting methods? I mean, I have my own method of doing it. It's going to be a little too long to go into today, and I kind of want to focus on trading, but I do have a method I use. That's kind of what I went over in class yesterday.
I'm looking good here for VWAP rejection. What could be at the bottom. Looking interesting there, though.
Yeah, 100% Alex. Yeah, man. AMRN. That stock's dead to me, brother. That stock's dead to me, man. I hate AMRN. And I realize it's not that good. You know, that is something. Like, you can see my backtesting results, but I'm not going to go in actually how I do it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. This is some of my backtesting results. You can see I take a very systematic approach to it. Just go day by day, successes and failures. Overall, in the end, it gives me an accuracy rate, favorable conditions, favorable sectors, favorable tickers, and I just do that and just really analyze the data to see what really is going on with the strategies that I use, and it's definitely beneficial for sure.
There you go. VWAP rejection looking good for Kron.
Are you in it?
No.
Oh.
I think I'm getting sick. My girlfriend was sick last week.
Dude, I've been sick for the last week, man. I'm pretty sure it's a sinus infection, but I've been sick.
MYND scanner.
Yeah, look at VOD run, man. I'm looking for VOD to pull back to this VWAP area. But it's just a great trade to follow up yesterday's class, honestly. It's just a great trade to follow it up with. Because one of the stressing points was that there's certain stocks that are favorable with the VWAP fade and the VWAP bounce, and AMD was probably number one on that list, at least in the last month, since November 1st. And so, it's just a good trade to get in after that to kind of reinforce what we were talking about yesterday.
Look at that one. There's Kron. VWAP reject. Not a bad one at all. Good call out.
It changes during the day, Jeremy. The VWAP changes because it's essentially like a moving average with volume taken into consideration. If you break down the name, it's the volume weighted average price. So it's the average price with volume taken into consideration. And so when it moves, it typically moves when you get a lot of volume in that stock. Like if the stock has a big volume breakout on the upside, a lot of times the VWAP will move up and vice versa. And so that's when you see it move. When I originally saw AMD, the VWAP was at 1990s. And you can see it's down to 1970s now with this big downward volume move. RSLS. It's just a typical gap fill, I think. I mean, I think it had good news, but I think it gapped up too much, and it'll probably end up bouncing back some. But I think it's just a typical gap fill, overextension gap fill. What's up, Jeremy, though, man? I thought you didn't like me, man. I know you did. It's not that you don't like me. I know you were against some stuff, but what's up, brother? My QD put option is doing well as well. Continuing to drop. I'll have to look up why AMD is doing that. Or not AMD, why RSLS is filling this gap. Let me see if I can figure out why. I mean, it looks like a conventional gap fill strategy, just overextended gap filling it. But we'll see if it has an actual catalyst behind this drop. No, not that I see. Yeah, no, of course, man. Listen, brother, I completely understand, man. You know what I mean? I always say, like, I'm a really passive person. Like, I'm not one of those drama-filled YouTubers that just thrive on drama. I'm really not, man. But it's good to have you here, brother.
Man, I've been working so hard on this VKTX trade because of that garbage fill. I don't know what happened to my limit order. I'm gonna actually have to speak with Tefs about it, but I'm in a straight battle over here. I'm green on the trade, but holy crap, that entry. I hit the limit order up at 12:30s, and for some reason, it just literally marketed.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on there, but
Oh wait, are you in it?
yeah, I've been in it.
Oh, on VKTX.
Yeah, I'm just battling there.
You're green though, right? I mean, it's up.
Yeah, I'm green on it, but I'll tell you one thing: it hasn't been comfortable, guys. I
Yeah,
can
man.
tell you that much, guys. Green, only $33 here. Have 100 shares left now. Took some out there at 12:05, but
Oh
it
well, you're
should have been
good.
a lot better trade. I would have been able to make a great amount of money if sort of just stuck to its limits. All right, I gotta be careful here with this last little bit amount of shares.
You're
Yep,
out.
it's out. $29, guys.
Hey, bro, not a bad mistake.
It not even. It should have been multiply that by three.
Yeah.
I would have been able to get in here, guys, somewhere in this 28 range. That's where I wanted to get in when it made this move to 941s, 1230s. I would have got from 1230s to 1210s to the breakdown to $12. And that's what the trade should have been. That's what I was trying to enter. What happened? I have no idea. I screenshotted it and all. I'm gonna have to send them a message and see, you know, see what's going on with Tefs here. But I do feel like VKTX is kind of pulling back and reversing there. I feel like I was battling somebody there.
SPEX going crazy. Hey, good trade, man.
At the end of the day, yeah, it was a good
Green's good.
battle.
Yeah. Yeah, specs. Nice little beautiful VWAP bounce here. And this was one of the conditions I've noticed with the VWAP bounce is that usually there's a few conditions that I get when I back tested it, and one of them is nice big volume spike at the open. A lot of times it pulls over the pre-market high right here, but big volume spike at the open. Nice little follow through with the VWAP bounce there for specs. Didn't look bad.
KDMN, not tradable, but looks like it's getting some momentum. You see anything good out there?
Huh?
See anything good out there?
I'm looking at NIO. If NIO pulls back to 740s, 747
That was a
specifically.
beauty today.
Yeah, man.
Missed that one.
Honestly, look at AMD though, man. I was like, remember what I talked about yesterday in class? That one faded perfect, almost.
Yeah,
Not
I just
quite.
didn't. I don't like that first run.
Yeah.
That's not to me. That's not really a fade. That's more of a reject.
The key here though is that you can look at the lows in pre-market and see it followed them pretty well, like that pre-market move, and so it followed those really well.
That overstock, you missed out on that one.
Did Overstock end up doing it?
Yeah, bro.
Man, dude, I gotta trust my trading. What's the ticker? OSTK? Yeah.
OSTK.
Yeah, look, there's the fade, man. Hey, I called it out, right? Like this is what I'm saying though. Like, yeah, that press release sounds good. They said blockchain in it, but um overextended from the day before. Look at this big percentage move and then it just fades back down today. Nice little fade though.
This HMI looks really good, but it's not tradable. Not tradable, but would have definitely enjoyed trading that one.
SPWR has been running today some.
It's crawling back at the VWAP, but looks like it can go bullish, guys. Daily's starting to look like it wants to create another resistance run. Oh, above nine with some good buys. This could definitely run, guys.
I'm debating on whether I should sell my QD put option here. It's down to 489s. Um, I think it's time. It's one of those big overextended moves. But yeah, OSTK faded nicely too, man. A and Y, a lot of people talking about it. Said it got halted.
Yeah, and
Hold on, my dad is calling me. All right, I'm back. Yeah, man. A and Y. I mean, the only problem with it is that it's just a tough stock to trade, man. At least for the strategies I use, there's just not any. I just don't see any of them. You know. But man, it's like I try to use bigger sizing, right? And I don't want to miss the move on AMD. And I'm glad I took this little 100 shares because it ended up working out for me. But I gave myself the entry of 1990s, and it never quite got that far. I entered my first one at like 84 and was planning on adding once it got up to 93. Another 200 shares, even if it would have just gotten up to 90, but it just never did. And so another small size trade. It's back up to the VWAP though. What do you think of AMD now? It's already faded once.
I'm watching Kron here as it gains that momentum there at the VWAP, guys. Might be looking for a long trade in this. I can see it keep getting bought up. It was a huge ask amount when it went through that VWAP and it got filled.
For sure.
Now I'm just paying attention to that. What was the chart?
AMD. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and get out of QD here.
Yeah, AMD's. I would run it more in a 5 minute. You could
There we go.
wait to it risk. I would let it touch that 1975. See if it gets up there, and then you can use that as risk, or you can get it to there and then get your entry as close to there as possible.
Yeah,
But
for
that
sure.
1975 is not bad.
Yeah, look at it. I mean, it's up there.
Also use the levels of 1988, but that's
Right.
why I would let it test that 1975, and then if it doesn't break that, you could use the levels right above it. But hey, instant in there, you could
Right.
have already been taking profit here at the break of this support here. It's not a bad call at all.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this is what
You
if
just have to learn how to adjust to the shares.
right. Well, this is something that I've realized is another hole in my trading. Right. One of the things I typically do is that if I have a green day, I'm usually done. Like I usually don't trade anymore if I have a green day. And then the opposite is true if I have a red day. Like if I have one red trade, I usually trade another time at least. Like I usually trade one more time after that. And so some days, some days when I have a green day, it's great. I can hang it up. But when I have a red day, I usually trade twice as much. And so if I have two red trades on that red day, then it draws down my account. And so I think if I'm going to just trade one trade, I need to just stick with one trade, even if it's a red trade, and not force it. Or I need to not be scared to pull the trigger if I already have a green trade as well. I guess I just get worried that I'm going to give back profits, but when I see a move like AMD just now, it looked pretty. It's a little too late
Hey,
for me.
remember, at the end of the day, those profits are house money.
Right.
It wasn't yours to begin with. And one of the key things is like me. I didn't have the best first trade. I wanted to have a better one. But now that I have that $29, instead of being worried about keeping that, I'm trying to use that to my advantage, take the stress off, find a good trade, take a swing.
Right, for sure.
That's what trading's all about. You can't have no fear.
Exactly.
You want to have fear, you're just going to get eaten in the market.
Exactly, man. Yeah, ABIL was tradable for us on Friday. It's not anymore. A and Y is though. But yeah, I'm happy with. I just got out of my put option on QD. Um, it's kind of one of those things, right? I talked about it yesterday. Like you see these trades and you see these stocks that just kind of they move too much. Like they gap up too much. I mean, this thing gapped up from fours all the way to sixes within a day. And I ended up buying a put option up here in the 580s, I think, and just letting it ride down to the 480s. I like options for this, like put options, short options, because my maximum risk for a move like this is just what I pay for the option. And I think a large majority of the time when a stock gaps up this much, especially a cheap stock under $10, almost every single time it's going to come back down within a month. And so it only makes sense for me at least to buy put options after these huge extended gap ups because as opposed to like if I shorted this with a swing trade, there's always those outliers that end up kind of going crazy parabolic going from like $6 to 12 and if I was actually in a short trade I would lose a ton of money to where I can limit my risk with put options to where the only thing I can ever really lose is what I spend on that option and I can just take advantage of the probability that most of the time stocks like this are going to come back down using QD as an example. And so that's kind of my, trade idea with options at this point, and it's been working out really well. I'm still relatively new with options, but I think it makes sense, and it's a plausible, viable strategy for me at least. And so that's what I've been doing thus far. But I think it makes sense if you think about it.
All right, I'm in order out for VKTX here at 1215. Looking for a little bounce up to get filled here. Wouldn't mind 1210s off of 1220s here, but looking for this to crack down through the 12s. Looks like we might get this move right here.
On which one?
I missed it here. VKTX.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Volume's a little low, but I'm kind of kicking myself for AMD again. Called that one out. Faded perfectly off the VWAP thus far. Even if it ends up reversing here, I'd still be up 20 cents. I could have taken profits already. AMRN is dead to me, Star Trader.
Kron looking like it's going to crack also. Just not seeing the volume I need to see. There goes VKTX.
Yeah, there's the crash. Look at AMD too. Nice day for fades, honestly, but look at AMD.
Wasn't a bad trade if I would have been able to still have my original entry.
PCG. Which would star? SPWR. Yeah, you're talking about SPWR. Yeah, I was watching that one a little earlier. But look at the fade again on AMD, man. And I'm telling you, bro, those back testing results really opened my eyes for AMD. This thing fades a lot. It bounces really nicely as well. Like if you look back on Friday, beautiful VWAP bounces here. It's starting to be one of those stocks that I'm gonna start watching every day. Beautiful fade the day before that. Beautiful bounce the day before that. Beautiful fade the day before that. So AMD has been doing this every single day almost. So and it follows through really well here too. It's got to be one of those stocks that I start watching every day, man. At least with the microchip sector acting like it is. Look at NIO start to tank too. It just never really faded off the VWAP. It faded maybe a little bit at the open, but not too much.
OSTK is a joke.
What's it doing? Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I'm not a fundamental investor whatsoever, but if the name of the company is overstock.com, implying that they are an online retail business, and the CEO puts out a press release saying that they are going to stop online retail and focus on blockchain, I just don't know how viable that's going to be, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not a fundamental investor, but
Oh, we could trade any now.
yeah, no, AMY is tradable for sure.
Oh, I didn't know about this. This is my kind of move. Speed. You see it. Great build up here in the 90s. This could have been a fake out there. If you guys are trading ANY, get ready. This thing's about to be moving both ways, guys.
Yeah, I think it'll come back down some from 7, but who knows, man.
Yeah. We should have been watching this earlier. Good VWAP bounce.
Maybe I was wrong.
Look at this VWAP. That's a VWAP bounce.
What, on A and Y?
Yeah, man. Just as good as it gets.
I mean, that is a pretty bounce, but that halt made me a little scared of it. It got halted and then it bounced nicely off the VWAP, but picture perfect down to the cent for that VWAP bounce.
$90 and May very, very far from it. So this is why I'm not interested in it here, guys.
Appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub, Pedram. And Chi. Appreciate it. Kent. Thanks, man. Yeah, at this point, I'm looking to see what it does at 7. If it holds support there, maybe keep going up to 750 at least. And if it gets rejected at 7 or 750, I can see it coming back down to at least the VWAP at 620s. This is one of those ones where I'm kind of looking.
I'm looking at Lowe's right now. That looks interesting. It's a bigger stock for me, but
I wish they would let me trade options. I would put option the heck out of this thing right now. What is my phone doing? Is my phone taking pictures? SPWR, interesting here. Let's see what we got. It's at, where's this thing at now? 650s.
Look at that any go in the 740s now.
Yeah, now the next level is 750.
If I were you guys, I'd keep an eye on ABIL for that sympathy move, just because it was a runner, prior runner. Oh, but ABIL is horribly down for the day.
Yeah,
that might have been a good VWAP fade.
Honestly, what? Which one?
ABIL.
Yeah, it's not tradable. It was Friday, though. But yeah, this is why it's funny. I always say it's funny when people say technical analysis doesn't work. Like, look at that stock. It goes right up to exactly 750. Exactly 750 on the cent.
I was thinking about Lowe's here on a bounce. But it's such a big stock. definitely not my forte.
Which one?
Lowe's. I said Lowe's and Home Depot. I think they're gonna crack down today at some point. I feel like that sector is pretty weak.
The cannabis sector's getting hit a little bit. Look at Kron.
Yep.
It's testing. It's got some support at 875. We'll see what happens there.
And it turned away from a good long setup on the daily chart. So
Nah, cool. It's not a chair, man. That's his dog Marley. She's eating squeaky toys.
all right.
She makes her debut during our classes. All right, so at this point, it's kind of like ANY bounces over 7, gets rejected at 750, finds some support at 7, and then tests 750 again. It could break out here on the upside if it can break over 750 and hold. If it can't, it may be a double top. It washes back down to the VWAP level. We'll see what happens. Overstock long. Yeah, I mean, it filled the gap already. It's got that support at 1760. And so we'll see what happens there. Just such a huge range for this one thus far.
Yeah, I think Andy's gonna do a big pullback here to 630s.
Yeah, that's
Watch
the
this.
VWAP.
Watch this on the 5 minute. Just at least a 7. Let's see what happens at 7.
Yeah. If it breaks
There it
under
is.
7, I think it'll probably
Right
get
to
back
7. Boom.
635s.
I can tell that one. That's a 5 minute extension, guys. This
Right.
the 9 EMA gets way too far and way too extended, and then it needs to just pull back here. The pullback could be all the way to the 650s. I think it's gonna try to hold here at 7. There's a lot of people that bought and went long at 7, so they're getting caught right now. They're getting out of their long.
It just kind of shows you how important volume is. Like when you get a lot of volume on a stock like this, the moves are a lot cleaner. You know, up to 750, back down to 7. Maybe if it breaks under 7, it could go down to the VWAP at 640, 630s. But if it holds 7, it'll probably make another run for 750, break out. We'll see what happens. It's kind of those whole dollars, man. Half and whole dollars.
Yep,
Here's
there
the
it
volume.
is.
There's the breakout.
Everybody out,
It
and then
helps.
everyone just slamming the buy button right now. But at the same time, that's not what you want to be doing. You need to understand your levels in a stock like this. Right now, the range is $1, so I would share down. I normally at 500, I'd be looking at somewhere at 50 shares in this stock. So if I lose $1 in the range, I'll take that hit.
There's the hold of 7. It's going to test 750s. This is kind of the make or break level again, but it looks like it's going to try it at least. If it gets rejected here, double top. But it looks like it's going to... There it goes. Boom. There it is. Super obvious, too, man. It held that support at 7, and then it just said, no, not today.
I mean, it's all about the big time and sales here, guys. This is where I give you guys the secret. I almost shouldn't give you guys the secret. Too many people are watching the time and sales that's regular right now. I'm only watching my big time and sales, 3,000 shares or higher. And I'm able to tell there that there was buyers at 703, 706, and then where did they come right back in at 755?
Yeah, for sure. And this is one of those stocks that everybody's buying the dip on 7 too, you know. Now it's just about whether it can hold support at 750, which it looks to be doing, but that's a big if. You know, we'll see. If it breaks back underneath there, it may consolidate some, but 750.
So the real key is learning about this, traders, is learning how do you trade a stock like this. You can't be trying to hold yourself to a 10-cent stop out on any. It just won't happen here.
Yeah, range is way too big. The range in the last 15 minutes is like $1, and so range is just too big.
I'm going to be looking for sympathy moves, guys. Not any, but the next move that's coming.
What sector is this? 3D printing? I don't know. I'm just judging by the name of the company. Let's look it up. See what's going on with it. is this a microchip? Yeah, there, it couldn't hold at 750. I'm trying to see what A and Y is exactly. Let me know if you know what it is.
IMPX. There's a sympathy move. I would have bought it there at 5 if I could have bought it. Risk would be on 480s. You got to be real quick. Like we always say, guys, we're not investment professionals. We're just kind of teaching you how to trade in this market. Yeah, IMPX not tradable.
So I think A and Y is a microchip company.
And there she goes. There's IMPX, guys. That's how you use sympathy to make a lot of money. There you go. I would be selling out into this push right there. Immediate sell out, because what you want to do is kind of make a little house money, and then you can play with that money. But definitely sympathy move there in IMPX. Everyone gets away from any. They think that the next move, IMPX, is going to go to the moon, and the volume just started sliding in there.
Yeah, so A and Y is a cloud-based tech company. Chad, both of us are up. One
Look at
green
that.
trade for me, one green trade for Mitch.
Look at IMPX now. Going to go into a halt probably. That's what I was talking about, guys. I literally just said it, guys. Look for the sympathy play, the next move to move. And what happened, guys? High day momentum scanner brought to you guys by Trade Ideas. Looks out for us, guys. It's into the halt there. IMPX, guys.
Yeah, for sure. SPWR
All that
going
one out
crazy.
perfect. Would have bought it at 5. Pew! Too bad it wasn't tradable.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, that was a beauty. And when IMPX runs, guys, it runs really fast.
Yep.
I think this one is in that sector too. You see that? That's how you use sympathy, guys. Looks like we're starting to get that momentum into the market, guys. Definitely happy about this.
Yeah, man, we're getting some volume for sure.
Traders are back.
Also, I do want to say this, that TradeNet did have their Black Friday sale, and today is the last day. And so, if you're interested in signing up to TradeNet,
Up here. Next stop, JRSH. JRSH. I'd watch for this one. Has a beautiful daily resistance to 845s. Like the chart.
all right, but yeah, so TradeNet has their Black Friday sale going on still. Today's the last day, but it's 20% off, or it's 25% off actually. TradeNet packages, and so if you were thinking about signing up to TradeNet, you can go through my link. I make a small commission from it, but if you want to help support the channel, you can go through our link, and we really appreciate it if you do. But yeah, it's 25% off, so that's honestly the biggest sale I've ever seen them have. You know, there's been a lot of drama with TradeNet lately. That's a different subject, but if you're interested in signing up, you can go through my link. Also, shout out to Trade Ideas for being cool enough to allow me to stream their scans. I really enjoy using Trade Ideas scans. It makes it really easy in the morning, honestly. That's one of my favorite things about it, is that it just makes it really easy. I can look at gappers. It shows me high of day momentum, like Mitch was saying. And so I can post Trade Ideas link as well. What's up, Dext? Today's your first day trading live, man. What's the difference between Trade Ideas and Thinkorswim Scanner? So Trade
All right.
Ideas.
Next up, guys, moving, guys, is SDPI. SDPI breaking out to $2. One of those days, guys, there's been sympathy moves and a bunch of volume. What you need to see is high volume in your trades, high purchase and time and sales to show you that it's not a fake out. But there's definitely some stocks getting some great strength right now.
Yeah, man, we're having some volume in the market. I've been waiting for this, man. I've been waiting for it. It's really tough to trade slow, choppy markets, and it's one of those things where you just have to have patience. But days like today make me want to trade a little bit more often. But yeah, man, they usually get you the live account pretty soon. Like when I signed up to TradeNet, I had my live account within 3 days, and so it's usually pretty quick. You know, both times. I think for the student it took 4 days maybe, but they get it to you pretty quick. The difference between Trade Ideas and Thinkorswim, Trade Ideas is super. What's the word? It's very up to date. Like your scans and your alerts are going to be really up to date, like really fast relative
It's
to
closest to real time.
right.
You get milliseconds on your alerts.
You're right. Super close to real time. Thinkorswim is a little bit more complicated, but it is free. But it's not going to be as real time as Trade Ideas.
Look at that. Look at HD and lows. Called this weakness out. I think this is going to bounce one more time. I hope lows can bounce up to that 88.80, but it can just go through the support right here. All right. Let's go back to that mover.
Look at that second fade on AMD, man. Beautiful. I was actually the one to make. I mean, I took advantage of this fade. I wrote it down from here.
About to get hit. Oh, it got hit hard at 3,000 shares.
But this fade is just much better. Which one?
On any. Watching any a little bit. Has now like 3 attempts here. It needs to get over that 750. If not, hold $7 for it to stay in that range. If it breaks that $7 now, I could see a pullback to the VWAP here.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, I'm kind of looking at it for that bounce play. We'll see. Still trying to test 7, hold 7. Kind of faked people out over 750, but it broke out about 30 cents. So, I mean, I don't know if I consider that a fake out. NIO is kind of testing that VWAP level. Or it did already, at least. Yeah, I mean, I think A and Y will definitely come down eventually, for sure. SPWR still kind of going crazy here. See if I can find some put options on these. So what we got here.
Use that surge in any. Let's see if we can get to the 750s.
SPWR, man, that thing just continues to run. I was thinking about getting a put option on it, but the range is too small.
Something's going on with my platform.
Yeah,
I
mine
haven't
just logged me off too.
I'm telling you, they've been having some issues. Something's going on. There you go. Open back up, but
Yeah, mine did too. It's been acting weird. It's been logging me off and on. I'm just glad you're. Honestly, I'm glad you're doing. It's happening to you too, because I guess the first thing I worry about is getting hacked in it. Not that there would be any reason to even hack into it. I mean, it's just there's no point. The withdrawal process is too hard to fake, I think. But look at Kron just crash here. OMF
yeah.
popping up on my scanner. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It logged me off twice as well. I mean, it's back up working fine now, but
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Is any holding those 750s, guys? Talked about that important level. Let's see if we get spot up there.
I don't know. Mine kept logging me off too. Keep trying, guys. I kept trying and it worked, but it logged me off 3 times.
I gave it a second and I was able to log back in. I closed the program completely.
All right, Mikey. I'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm probably gonna close it down soon here as well. Doubt I'll trade it this late. But yeah, I'll probably end up closing it down, guys. Again, if you're interested in signing up to TradeNet, today is the last day of that 25% off Black Friday sale. And so if you're interested in signing up and want to help support the channel, you can go through that link I just posted in the chat. I make a commission from it, but if you want to support us, it's a good way to do it. Also, like I said, shout out to Trade Ideas. They're cool enough to let us stream their scans. And yeah, not a bad day. 2 green trades for Mitch and I. Got to get bigger sizing. I think if I'm gonna jump in with 100 shares, I need to be instead jumping in with 200 and then adding another 100 if it gets to my level to get up to 300. It's been a process, man. I got to get up to bigger sizing, and I'll get there eventually. But it's a process, man. Every day I say I'm gonna do it, and then I'm not that disappointed in this because I got in early in anticipation of maybe it not reaching my level. But I just got to take that leap, man, and just use big sizing. So remind me tomorrow. Good luck for the rest of the day, all, and I'll see you all later. That might be it, Eric. Yeah, Peter. I know, man. I'm trying, bro. It's a process, man. I can recognize that about myself, that I'm ready to use bigger sizing. Like, if you look at my graph is green, but my account's down because I haven't really, you know, it's not enough to compensate for commissions with the sizing I'm using, and so that's definitely number one on my list of things to do is to scale up. I think I need to give myself a rule to where, especially a stock like AMD, I have to at least jump in with 200 shares, even if it's my starting position early, and then I can consider adding it if it gets back up there. But I got to do it, man. It's just time. It's a process, though. It's hard to break through that barrier of what I'm comfortable with at this point. But I need to understand that that comfort is drawing down my account, even though my graph is profitable and up. So it's a process. But yeah, guys, have a good day. I'll see you all later. Mitch, you want to say anything else, brother?
No, that's gonna be it, guys. Hey, guys, don't forget, join us every single night. We go over classes on all kinds of things from level twos to time and sales to strategy to my favorite day, trading psychology that we do on Wednesdays. And if you guys want to get our first kind of 3 classes, we can send you a kind of a demo. Just go ahead and reach out to us, beginnertrading@gmail.com. And we'll go ahead and send you those first 3 classes so you can see what we're all about.
Yeah, there's my email. I just put it in the chat. You can see yesterday we went over back testing, and I kind of showed some examples of how I back test. You can see my kind of sheet here for back testing, and it kind of just goes through day after day, kind of work through how I do it, shows me the successful strategies and the failed strategies, and then the accuracy rate of that, favorable conditions, favorable stocks, favorable sectors. And so I think back testing class is one of my favorite, and that's what we went over yesterday. And you can see here, one of the favorable tickers for some of my strategies was AMD. And what did I trade today? I traded AMD, and it even faded twice here beautifully off of the VWAP. You can see here and here. So, back testing works, and it's a process. It's meticulous, but if you do it, it can definitely give you some good info, and you can learn about it more in our classes if you want to go in depth about how I do it. But go check that out. You can go to, let's see, I'll post the link to that as well. If you're interested in checking them out or getting the first 3 classes, you can go send me an email, and we'll send you the first 3. Or if you're interested in signing up, you can go to that link as well. But yeah, guys, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all later. Not a bad day. 2 green days for Mitch and I. And we'll hope tomorrow is the same. I appreciate the sub, share, and Daniel. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same time.